Okay, so welcome everyone. Checking into your body now. Is your body stiff or is your body relaxed? So it's always good to start with the shoulders because that's where it usually has the aches or tension. So let's pull our shoulders back and take a deep breath and roll them forward. And let's do this 3 times in very gentle motion. Good. Now let's do it the other way around. Bring the shoulders together in the front and then roll them back very gently. Let's do it 3 times as well. Good. If you have any difficulties rolling the shoulders together at the same time, roll it one at a time. That's okay too, because if you're not used to rolling your shoulders, you may find yourself a little bit non-coordinated. And now let's just rotate our head very gently again and making sure that we are respecting the limits of our body. So don't do anything that is going to cause any injury. So let's drop our head down and our chin perhaps being able to touch the chest and gently rotate. And slowly change direction. So do all these movements with gentleness and kindness. Okay. And if you are seated down, push your bum a bit further up the seat and then turn your body to the back and just give it a nice little twist. And very gently turn to the other side. And come back to the center. Okay. So as we do this in a very gentle, kind, mindful way, we are relaxing the body. This in itself is a mindful movement, not when you see people do crack, crack, and crack, crack. That's not being kind and gentle to the body. And sometimes it may even cause more harm to the joint than helping, as we're not being caring towards the body. Okay. We all only have one body. So it's really important that we take care of it, both in terms of how we use this body and also in terms of how we nourish the body. So please don't take this body for granted, because when you do, you may find that it's not going to serve you very well in the long term. So please take care. So means be kind and gentle with this body. So now sit upright and place your feet flat on the ground and your hands on your lap. And we're going to do, first of all, dropping into the body and sensing the body. And then we're going to do a body scan, not all the parts, but the key parts of the body. So just closing your eyes gently and take 3 beautiful deep breaths. And dropping into the body, sensing the different parts of the body in terms of how it's feeling, and noticing if there's any tingling sensation or pulling sensation, or even just tension or tightness. If you notice discomfort anywhere, and adjusting the body helps to relieve the discomfort, please move the body. You don't have to sit like a statue. Respect what the body is communicating with you. And now we're going to start the body scan from the feet, sensing the soles of the feet against the floor or your footwear, and relaxing your entire foot on both sides. Move the toes and relax all the toes, every single one of the 10 toes. Shift your foot left to right, right to left, and release any tightness that could be in your ankles. And scan up your legs, sensing into the knees. And up your thighs, noticing your bum on the seat. And checking that the body is balanced between the two sides of the bum. And adjust your body weight, either to the left or the right, equalizing the balance between the two sides of the bum. And now noticing your lower back. And straighten up your spine and feeling the lengthening of your body as you sit more upright without feeling tense or uptight, rather just extending the spine and lengthening the upper body. And scan up the spine and relaxing the muscles along both sides of the spine. And just by using the word relax. And tuning into the shoulders. If you sense any tightness in the shoulders, gently just move the shoulder one at a time and releasing any knots, any tightness in the shoulder. Sensing to the neck. And feel free to rotate the head or just tilt it sideways or up and down. And release any tension in the neck. And slide down your arms into the wrists, sensing to the hands, and noticing the contact your hands and fingers are in contact with your thighs. And are your palms dry, damp, warm, cold? And shifting now into your torso, sensing into your stomach area. If there's any tightness in the stomach area, just breathe into it. And use the word relax as you breathe into your abdomen. And expand your focus to your chest, sensing the movement of the chest, your beating heart, and scan up your face. Are your lips relaxed or are they tight-lipped? The cheek muscles, the eyes, and do you notice the air going through your nostrils? The forehead, and all around your scalp, and even the back of your neck. And just pulling your head back slightly to align with the shoulders. And you've just done a quick body scan. And now just dropping into your breath, wherever you feel the breath most. And if your mind gets distracted by a thought, that is very normal. Just refocus the mind back to the breath in a kind, gentle way. Just very gently reconnect with the breath at any time when you notice your mind has popped off to somewhere else and no longer on your breath. The objective of this is not to clear your mind of thoughts or to suppress thoughts. Rather than, it is just about increasing your awareness of where your mind is. So when you notice your mind has gone off with a sound or with a thought, just very gently refocus on the breath. This is about training the mind to be present, training the mind to pause, that it doesn't have to think all the time, that it's okay to just hang out with the breath. Just be aware of where the mind is now. If it's with the breath, excellent. If it's not with the breath, wonderful that you've noticed it's not with the breath. And you can simply just refocus on the breath. There's no need for struggle or frustration or anything like that. Just very gently refocus on the breath. And now just sensing how you feel, how your body's feeling, and whether your mind is now less cluttered. And focusing on 3 more beautiful breaths. Very gently open your eyes and smile. Okay, how do you feel now? Please feel free to turn on your mic and speak, or you can type into the chat. It's kind of good to know what the feedback is from everyone out there. So we have just done actually almost 20 minutes of practice, and I hope you're feeling more calm now, more relaxed, and in some ways more at peace. Sometimes our mind goes into a struggle, into its own arguing state without even anyone having to argue with us. It can actually go into its own conversation, which may sometimes be pleasant and sometimes unpleasant. And it's actually a practice of kindness whenever we do meditation, to just bring the mind back to reconnect with the breath. That is actually a very kind thing to do. And when we do it in a gentle way, we actually develop more gentleness in us, in this mind, and more kindness in the mind. This is exactly the practice. And why is it important? Because much of our unhappiness comes from what goes on in the mind. The judgments that people are not fair to us, or judgments on ourselves that we're not doing enough. And there's so much energy wasted when we allow this mind to indulge in these narrative commentary. Instead, is to channel the energy in doing something that is kind for ourselves or to other people. I just came back from a wake about half an hour ago. This lady has just lost her husband, who battled with cancer for a few years. Their relationship wasn't good. And I remember saying to her, how would you feel when he passes away? And I recall at one time, there was a very candid reply that she would actually be happier. But I actually doubted that. So many people, when they are not kind to someone and when the person actually passes away, there could be a lot of regret. Regret that there wasn't more kindness, there wasn't forgiveness. And fortunately, they did say sorry to each other for the hurt that they caused each other. Because in any relationship that turns sour, it's never just one party. It is usually both bringing out the worst in each other, aggravating each other with unkind words or with thoughtless acts. If we practice kindness and generosity, our relationships can always improve and even heal for the better. And I hope that we don't have to wait for someone to be really ill and dying for us to be kind and gentle to another person. The reality is we just never know when is the last time we see each other alive. Because the only certainty is death, and we don't know when it will happen, or when an illness strikes or an accident occurs. And if we remind ourselves the fragility of life, we would treasure the moments we have with people much more. So whenever I see my relatives, especially my own siblings, they're all older than me, I would remind myself that I never know if this is the last time I see them again. And I wouldn't want them to be dying or myself dying and regretting that the last encounter wasn't a pleasant one. There is really no need for argument. If we don't agree with something, we can just have that thought in our mind, but it doesn't have to come out in our speech. Because there's no reward for winning an argument. Is there? And even material things, if we fight over it, how long can we own it? And how much real enjoyment do we get out of it? Remember, even the properties we own that is written in our name, it's only temporary. We don't own it forever, and we certainly can't take it with us. But all our deeds is what we will take with us. So every moment that we have, that we can channel our energy to doing kind deeds. And whenever we speak kindly. Our mind is what's at peace. And when the moment comes to die, we can die peacefully. When I used to fly around the world for work or for leisure, and I used to travel a lot, if there's a turbulence in the flight, I would just drop into my breath and breathe and says, okay, if this is my moment to go, I want to be able to die relaxed and peacefully. Not screaming my lungs out, which nobody can fish me from the sky anyway. And just go with a sense of, okay, I'm ready. Most of us in this room here has less tomorrows than yesterdays. I see some young faces. You may have more tomorrows than yesterdays. Please use each tomorrow wisely. Because once the day is gone, it is irrecoverable. So what do we want to fill our days with? With kindness or meanness? With gentleness or with roughness? And what would help us to build good relationships? It's kindness, gentleness, and generosity. And it is the good relationships that bring us so much happiness. And the opposite of that is true. When we have difficult relationships or bad relationships, it brings us so much pain in our heart. So, knowing that we have the power to heal relationships, do the positive thing. Be kind, be gentle. There's a saying, if we can't help someone, at least don't harm the person. If we can't be kind, at least don't be mean. So I hope this little reminder helps us all to focus our energy and our mind to be kind, gentle, and generous. And our happiness will come our way without looking for it.